For 126 years, this was Mississippi's state flag, a triband of red, white, and blue, and in the top left corner, a blue X lined with white stars on a red square. This is the Confederate battle flag, the most recognizable lasting symbol of the American Civil War, a failed 4-year campaign of southern states to preserve slavery in the U.S. Today, the Confederate battle flag is often used as a symbol of Southern pride, but it's also synonymous with white supremacy. As part of Mississippi's state flag, it flew outside state buildings and hung in the halls of the U.S. Capitol. And for decades, people across the state have fought for its removal.
It made us feel like second-class citizens, that you could be comfortable flying a flag that represented enslavement of my people, of my ancestors.
Take it down, take it down, take it down.
On November 3rd, 2020, as the U.S. was deciding its next president, a long-awaited special election in Mississippi voted to adopt a new flag. This one. It's called the In God We Trust flag. The symbols in its design speak to Mississippi's history and its future. Almost immediately after the South lost the Civil War and over 4 million enslaved black people living there were freed, influential white supremacist groups started a campaign to popularize Confederate imagery. They built memorials, altered history textbooks, and used the flag to honor Confederate veterans, mainstreaming it as a symbol of Southern heritage and pride. When state legislatures began adopting state flags in the late 1800s and early 1900s, Georgia and Mississippi adapted the first national flag of the Confederacy and the Confederate battle flag, respectively. The Confederate battle emblem has been a prominent feature of Mississippi's flag ever since. While some Mississippians have fought to keep the flag intact, activists, led primarily by black Southerners, fought to have it removed.
My name's Genesis B. I'm an art activist from Biloxi, Mississippi. And my fight in this battle to change the Mississippi state flag, it definitely started with my ancestors. But in 2001 is the first time I remember it coming to a referendum vote.
A 2001 referendum would have changed Mississippi's flag to remove the Confederate battle emblem and introduce a new design.
And I was in high school or middle school at the time, and it was divisive because a lot of my friends whose ancestors fought in the Confederate Army, they revered that flag. Some people like myself saw it as a direct threat to our survival and a direct disrespect to our ancestors.
In the referendum, Mississippi voters overwhelmingly chose to keep the old flag. And when Georgia changed its flag from this to this in 2003, Mississippi became the only remaining state flag with the Confederate emblem.
This symbol does not represent nearly 40% of the population in Mississippi and needs to go.
Pressure to change the flag got renewed attention in 2015, when photos began circulating showing white supremacist and mass murderer Dylann Roof, who killed 9 people at a historic black church in South Carolina, holding the Confederate battle flag. Cities and public universities around Mississippi began removing the state flag from public display.
I'm Carlos Moore. I am a lawyer in Greater Mississippi. I'm also a municipal judge in Clarksdale, Mississippi. In 2017, my first day on the bench, I took the flag down, I had the flag removed.
A flag that he abhors and one that has been the subject of fierce debate in the state for decades.
There were counties that removed it, cities, municipalities, universities, colleges. I believe it took the Emanuel 9 to get the conversation started again in earnest, and I believe it took George Floyd to seal the deal.
In May of 2020, George Floyd, an unarmed black man, was killed by police in Minneapolis, Minnesota, sparking widespread protests against police brutality and systemic racism.
It was during those protests where all across the world, people were forced to look at what's happening and what has happened here in America when it comes to state-sanctioned violence against Black people. The conversation has always been, this symbol represents heritage, not hate. I saw that conversation change within a week during these protests.
In June, mounting pressure following Floyd's murder finally compelled Mississippi legislature to abolish Mississippi's flag and order it taken down from government buildings.
The conversation then shifted to, okay, we understand that this symbol is hate. What are we gonna do about it?
The state formed a commission to redesign the flag, led by former Mississippi Supreme Court Justice Reuben Anderson, and planned to put the final decision on the ballot in the November election. The commission opened it up to the public to submit designs with 2 requirements. Add the words "In God We Trust," the official motto of the United States, and remove the Confederate battle emblem.
My name is Sue Anna Joe, and I'm a Mississippi native.
Sue Anna Joe submitted one of the over 3,000 Mississippi flag redesigns.
The guidelines were in fact simple. They wanted the design to be simple. And basically I just took a big sheet of paper and I drew a bunch of designs to submit to the commission. And the ones that I felt were the strongest, I went to my computer and I remember having this Illustrator document open and there were just a bunch of different flags, all littered all over the place.
After narrowing it down, this was Sue Anna Joe's final submission. And the magnolia in her design ended up as the centerpiece of the new flag, which features elements combined from a select few of the submissions the commission received. The elements in the final flag all hold individual significance for Mississippi.
The red and blue colors are in fact the official colors of the state of Mississippi.
And these 20 white stars signify that Mississippi was the 20th state to enter the Union.
And this gold star is divided into diamond shapes.
That star represents the Choctaw Indian tribe, the only federally recognized Native American tribe living in Mississippi, who frequently make use of diamond shapes in traditional basketry and beadwork. And of course, the magnolia, Mississippi's state flower and state tree.
It symbolizes longevity and perseverance.
Magnolias are over 95 million years old, which make them among the earliest plants to exist on Earth.
That kind of just speaks to the strength of the state, I believe, and the people there. So that's the reason why I chose the magnolia for my original design, is because I felt like it was such a great reflection of the people in Mississippi.
And on November 3rd, 2020, the people of Mississippi agreed and voted to adopt the "In God We Trust" flag as the new state flag.
It was a continuum. It was a relay race. I ran my leg of the race. Others ran their leg of the race, and we eventually got it done.
It was a huge victory for our ancestors and the descendants. I felt, wow, my 3 nieces who haven't graduated yet don't have to walk underneath that flag. Mississippi can begin to move forward now that we've actually acknowledged the past.